to clip the mic to your nipple.
Alrighty.
Action!
Hey, what's going on, guys? Lasso Custom Offsets. Today's video, we're going to be answering this or that questions. Rainey's on his phone, but whatever. F it.
Emails, man.
Today we got Rainey with me, and like I said, we're going to be answering this or that and which one we would prefer. Before I hop into it, if you guys need wheels, tires, suspension, accessories, CustomOffsets.com. We're also doing another giveaway, CustomOffsets.com/giveaway. I'm just excited. Let's get in this video.
12 valve or 24 valve Cummins?
24 valve.
Why, Cummins guy?
12 valves are cool, but they're fucking loud. It's like putting bowling balls in a tin can, dude. It's they clang, dude. I can't do it.
I'm also going to go with 24 valve. I love the way Rainey sounds, especially on a cold start. Like once our weather started getting really cold, but there wasn't salt on the road yet, and he would start his truck outside, and you just hear that jet whistle.
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
6.7 or 7.3 motor?
6.7.
I'm torn. Like, I had a 7.3. The problem is, are we talking 6.7 Cummins or 6.7 Power Stroke?
Either or.
Or are we talking 7.3 Power Stroke or the new 7.3 gasser that came out in the new Super Duties?
Well, why don't we elaborate a little bit? Which one would you choose if you had to choose one?
See, that's hard, because the new 7.3 sound rowdy, and they're basically like a boat racing engine. But I like diesels. I'm torn. Like, can I do both? I'd like to do both.
I'm gonna do 6.7. Back in the day, I always like aspired to get a 7.3 one day, and then I just realized that I really dig the 6.7's reliability and just overall, like I just now wanted a 6.7. I don't know. I just want a diesel, realistically.
Once you get a diesel, it's hard to go back,
Yeah, I believe it.
unless you're broke. So I feel that too.
Squatted or leveled?
I think we just next. I think we know where we stand here. Leveled.
I f with both. I don't know. Like, my truck's squatted, like, not much. I mean,
Yeah, that's fair.
it squats. From far away, it looks like a lot, but it's not that bad. I'm actually gonna level my truck up this year, so just none of that Carolina shit.
What does the phrase yee yee mean to you?
All I can think of is up church.
Wait, what?
I don't know. There's like back in the day, it'd be so easy to like pinpoint it to like high school or this or that or whatever. But like nowadays, it's just like not only will you catch like diehard like country boys like just are so used to saying it,
My name's Seth. I'm addicted to yelling, yee yee!
but you also catch like city kids who are like they're just like screaming yee yee for no reason.
This is for the Yee Yee Nation.
Like it's so hard to say
Right.
what you think of because today's day and age, it's all over the place.
Lifted Tacoma on 40s or slammed F350 dually on air suspension?
I'd go slammed F350 on air.
See, I f with both.
I also with both, but
There's the Jeep Killer Tacoma on 40s, 42s, something like that. I think it's f***ing rowdy.
yeah.
But I also like dualies, and I liked slam dualies. I'm gonna go taco. F it. It'd be cool.
If you could pick one truck to daily, what would it be?
That's a tough one. Part of me wants to say a 5th gen. Part of me wants to say a Raptor. Yeah, I'd say Raptor, just because they ride smooth. And it's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a pretty good choice.
It's like the 350Z of trucks.
Yeah, I was gonna go with like Tacoma.
See, that's just too small to daily. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I know. That's what has me held back, and I don't like the Tundras. I'm gonna go Silverado 1500. Not because I have one, but also because I have one. Probably because like the 5.3.
Fuck that. Get the new one with the old 6.2.
Man, nah. 5.3, man.
6.2 makes power, dude.
Yeah,
And
but
it sounds
5.3 is
good.
f***ing bulletproof.
They're all bulletproof.
I
They're just
mean-
LTs now.
I guess. I was pretty thankful that I was able to daily my truck for about a year before we actually built it because I got to enjoy like, you know, not jumping up into my truck and actually using my truck and using the bed and just overall enjoying the truck as a daily. And it was really nice actually.
It's not even that bad now.
What do you mean it's not that bad?
It's not that bad.
To daily?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not terrible.
I mean, the Cummins is bad.
That's because it's as long as a school bus.
If you could name your child after any aftermarket brand on our website, what would it be?
That's not a brand, Rainey.
I'm gonna go Fury.
The only one I can think of is Bora.
Bora!
Spacers, dude. I can't think of a single a brand we sell that would like be a decent children's name.
Bora Rainey.
Where I would take my kid to school and be like, yeah, this is my child Bora, and not sound like a fucking dickhead.
Bora Rainey.
That's hard.
Fury
Yeah.
Lawson. I dig it. Max said fuel off-road.
I heard.
And he said it within 2 seconds of being asked.
He's
It's like he knew this.
he's prepared for it.
Yeah.
After any aftermarket brand on our website, what would it be?
Fuel.
Fuel.
Yeah, fuel. Fuel off road.
Why?
What's your favorite brand of shit kickers?
I like my Ariats, areolas. I don't know whatever the these goddamn
Violas.
whatever the they call them. I've heard them 16 different ways. We're calling them Ariats.
I also dig Ariats. They're super nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I remember I picked up a pair of boots in Nashville. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them boots in Nashville are like blown way out of proportion. Like they're fancy.
Or you get the cheap knockoff ones from Nashville
Yeah.
because of the tourists.
Yeah.
I want cowboy boots, but I want the cheap ones.
Yeah.
Here you go, have these pleather ones.
But the Ariats, like, they last a very long time, and they're comfy, which is huge with boots.
Or the Under Armours.
Or
are
the
shit.
Crocs.
They're all kickers if you try hard enough.
All right, guys, that's what we got for you on this episode of This or That. We actually asked all these questions and more to some of the car guys in the other building, and that video is pretty fun to do, and you should see some of those reactions that those guys had to those questions. I was dying at that video. That was a lot of fun. If you guys are interested in checking that video out, the link will be down in the description, along with all of our other links, including wheels, tires, suspension, and accessories. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Swag!